for joining in. Let me share the slides so that we can start. This is again a regulatory topic. It's not a directly, or a medical writing topic. It's like it's good to know, but important is that medical writing team is a contributor, as we have learned in our last session. So let me ask you that if you are able to see the slides, can you please let me know? I hope the slides are visible. No response. Okay, then I assume that slides are visible and then I am audible, right? And let me put it to full slideshow so that we can start. So there are a couple of applications that we have learned in our last class that all this is for your marketing authorization. The whole CTD concept of CTD is the marketing or purpose is marketing authorization. In nutshell, at least you remember this thing that when we wanted to submit the application to our regulatory bodies, it is in the form of a CTT format. Why? Common technical document, that we have learned in the last class, common technical document. The biggest reason for this is so that all the global applications, because see, MMA, it is for EU, NDA, it is for US, right? Name of the application is different, but the goal is same, to market the product. So just imagine if MMA template is totally different than NDA, how difficult it is for a pharma company, a drug maker. Very, very difficult, next to impossible. But if they are following CTT module, same, with little changes, administrative changes, they can submit to EU, and the same with US. Like for example, one change is like EU is specifically asked that also submit the document in a local language, because EU have more than 26 countries, right? So if there is a Spain, France, Germany, they ask the documentation in that language also. That's it. That for translations can help you, right? IND application, when you do you wanted to start your trial, CTT common BLA is that for your biologics, like your vaccines, like your other stem cell therapies, other things, right? So basically, in a nutshell, when you wanted to submit application to the regulatory bodies, US, India, anywhere in the world, Japan, Health Canada, you are making in this format, CTT format, which is common technical document. And now the modern thing is added in front of eCTD. That means electronically. And now we are also moving one step ahead, which is AI. Today in our class, I will also tell you where people have started using AI. Correct? Now, whose responsibility to submit this application? We have discussed in our last class. It is our very own team, the regulatory affairs team. If you ever interested in work in a regulatory team, this topic you should pay a lot of attention. So earlier, I have not paid a lot of attention on these, the background, because earlier they used to be submit in a paper form also. But now all the work is in the electronic form. Rarely someone's give in the form of paper, manual. So as you know, CTD is under your ICH. So ICH is founded by all these nations, right? They are regulatory bodies, plus they are the pharma companies of that region. They came together, a European Medicine Agency, Food and Drug Administrative, FDA, and even Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare of Japan. They came together and they came up with this common technical document requirement. So that template remains the same. Now till today, especially, I don't know what is the reason. In all the conferences and closed meetings I have seen, these two agencies, they collaborate with each other a lot. So much so they keep on having a weekly calls, monthly calls. They collaborate a lot. And even this agency, European agency, they are even advanced the way they are adapting the changes than your FDA. FDA somewhere is lost. EU cities, why I'm saying this, all today, this is your homework. Give 5 minutes and try to read EU cities. So because this is a regulatory topic, that's why I'm discussing all these things. EU earlier was a directive means this is giving a direction. Now it become a law. And with this, because they brought in EU cities in 2025, it has been launched. Basically, modernization of their system has happened. So eCTD is submitted in the tool which is known as a EU cities, basically cities. Okay, so you should remember this. They started in 2023. They given 2 years to sponsors to adjust themselves, and but in 2025 it is mandatory. Any question you want to ask? Okay, so and at least ask me what is CITES. This is nothing. This is clinical. C stands for clinical, T for trials, I for information, S for system. Clinical trials information system. E is used for Europe. So please read about it, because this is what are the benefits of electronic submission. Why electronic? Why we adapted electronic? One is the submission and the review process is a faster. And the most important, why regulatory bodies, they love it. Regulatory bodies, they love electronic submissions. They love electronic data, because you can track the things. Just imagine you are collecting the data on a paper. Now you wanted to falsify this, you wanted to do something, you can just tear this paper and can throw it somewhere, and then, but electronically audit trail will be there. And these days third party audited systems are used. So regulatory bodies, they are emphasizing a lot on the use of electronic systems, on use of AI. So the improved handling and archiving submission, better information management, support life cycle management of the product, access and up-to-date information. Suppose today I have made a change in a title, study title, just say I'm saying phase 2, double blind, placebo control, 50 mg, just an example. Now, because mostly we avoid mentioning a dose in here. Initially, maybe someone mentioned. So we realized that don't mention the dose. So I corrected in at one place. Automatically in all places it will get corrected, because information sync from one system to another. You need not to change it manually. And it will show the date like Sarabjit on this day, 20 November, changed this, right? So reduce the workload, because if you have to change everywhere, then how much work it is? Controlled communication with external experts. Now, electronic submission, one good thing is that the regulatory bodies we are dealing, right? Suppose there is a module 2, and FDA gave a comment. It will send you the notification. Automatic notification comes to you that on 20th November you got a comment, and how many days. It will also show you that within 5 days you have to address, or whatever the timeline is, so that auto alert, better use of resources, simplified business processes, better communication. See, like you even not to uh, wait for a mail from FDA that that there is a question. Now, this is not that important. This is little revision that because we have covered our CTT module in our very last class in too much of detail. Module 1 is all about administrative data. So mostly module 1 is where you are AI. I'm just telling you the modern things. AI is helping you a lot. Local, suppose the France is the country. They have to add their information related to their country. AI can help because it's admin related thing. Module 2 is you are all about quality, like non-clinical overviews, non-clinical summaries. Last class, we have learned what is the difference between these two. Anyone, what is the difference between these two, overviews and summaries? Overviews are shorter, summaries are little more detailed. They are also having the information which are added with the tables. Clinical overviews, all your phase 1, 2, 3, clinical summaries. Then module 3 is on all your pharmaceutical product, how it got manufactured, chemical synthesis and everything. Module 4 is study report of animal studies. Module 4 is your CSRs. Right? So this, as from a medical writing point of view, you should remember that. Now, suppose, see, here is module 1. Then module 2. Now you see, you are a medical writer. Where your job role will come, suppose you wanted to add some clinical summaries. Maybe section 2.4.2 is where maybe you have to add a document. Similarly, module, say there is a module 3. You have no role in a module 3 as a medical writer. Module 5, maybe there is a section 5.7.2, right, where you will be adding the things. Sometime in a modern today's, you will see it is like that module. There is a written module 2. They also write medical writing. Under medical writing, there are like a protocol. There are further teams. Then regulatory team. Under that, you can add like that. So there will be a different section. Simply you have to go. You will be always told like go to section 4.2.3.2 like that, and add the document. Edit that, and you will not be having access to the rest of the modules, right? So let's go deeper to the eCTD. The CTD describe the organization modules, sections, and documents. It is like your book. CTT is nothing. It is like your book. Like in our book, chapter 1, chapter 2, right? Like that. Here it is replaced with our modules. Only thing is we are dealing electronic. So, and like our book, there are chapters, but it stays with us. But this is got submitted to the regulatory body. It is a regulatory file. So eCTD is electronic delivery structure of CTT. Specification of eCTD is based upon the content defined within the CTT module. Last slide. What are the CTT requirement? Electronical expression. So one is that you should be able to navigate through it. It should be easier to navigate. Searching within and across application. And you should be able to view or print the documents if those are required. copy and paste if you want to, hmm? Annotation of the documents, facilitate the exporting of information from into the data sets. What are the comparison between CTT and eCTD? Although this is, what you say, that not so relevant these days because we've moved here. We are already here, right? So ETT, electronic submission, cover full submission, include all the modules. So regional specific information is already addressed in module 1. Hmm? And it covers the entire life cycle of the product. And most important is it is independent and portable. Easier, faster responses to agency. As I told you, suppose today, even MHRA, say UK regulatory body, MHRA is from UK, they sent a question, they sent a query, and their turnaround time is 15 days. The system will automatically show you the date that this is your last day. Increase flexibility, and not only that, system will show you the date, it will send you the alert to your Outlook. Archival cost is too much reduced. CTT, when used to happen in a paper form, paper review and archiving, very difficult. Very, very difficult, time consuming. They will be sending you just an example query is just coming to your Outlook box instantly. They used to send you letters. Earlier, people used to have a agents, like someone is working on DCGI office, they used to collect a letter so that they can save a time, right? It doesn't cover the related to amendments, variations. Now if there is any variation, instantly you update the document, it will be um, visible. But that time paper, you have to make a separate request. It doesn't have a module 1. That is because you have to submit as per the country's requirement. So mostly 2 to 5. But this is almost outdated. This is where we are focusing, and rather we are moving to AI. AI is where it is helping is editing, auto proof, auto check. If there are errors, the AI is helping us to speed the process. Now, suppose I just wanted to show you, you should focus on this XML. Anyone, what is this? I give you one example. In clinical trial, adverse event data that we have collected, right? The same data goes to your CSR. Same data goes to your summaries also. Same data is also submitted in CTD form. Now, instead of adding this data again and again, what programmers do? They give you XML. So now, suppose you are writing a CSR, you will upload this XML. All the A related tables will be here. Similarly, you are preparing a summary. A data is required. You will upload this. This is because of AI and computerization, right? You will upload this. Similarly, now all the C module 2, module 3 documents, maybe you have prepared in some other system. You wanted to submit in, upload in eCTD example. Just upload the XML. Your job is done. This is how things are moving forward. Now you have submitted the XML in EUCIT. Now you're saying that NDA application, which is meant for FDA, there are few changes. Your programming team will do few changes. You will be uploading an application in this another system. It will take. Now I will take you how this CTT modules, they are authored, what their workflow, how they are published, and what type of technology is used. Let me see if there is any question. Today, very few people joined, right? I don't know why. Maybe busy Friday evening. All right, so we are going to cover the process implementations. So anything that you do, maybe you are collating documents from different departments, right? The first step is always authoring. Second is how the workflow will move, because authoring is not by one team. Whole team is involved. Various teams are involved. So then you need to define a process that, okay, first operations team will do this, medical writing team do this, clinical trial transparency team will do this, these days this redaction, because any document that you are submitting to the regulatory body, you have to redact the CCI and PI. What is CCI? Company confidential information. What is PI? Personal information. Who? Participants. You have to also protect, then your redaction team will do, but redaction team, you have to send the documents in advance so that they can perform the redactions, right? Publishing and technology. So majority of publishing process remain unchanged if it is at one place. Where you need to focus is how and who will be doing authoring, and you have to send the advance notices also, workflow also, organization of a document, and finally it will come in the form of eCTD. So this is how mostly, if you talk about leading pharma or your CROs, the workflow of CTD module, it is just like any other. So you start with the authoring. Basically, you send a request to different teams. Like, please upload your document. If the documents are already there, uh, they have to verify. They have to verify that this is the correct document. Then it will undergo review, then publish, then compilation, then it will be ready for a submission. Now, there will be another step, that is agency. They will be validating, they load, archive, and then they review. And if there are comments, this will go back. So QA step is very important. Now, if here instead of a sponsor, CRO is doing, then there will be another step that sponsor perform a QC. Or there is sometimes another thing is that sponsor give the right to CRO that you can submit on behalf of us. Then CRO is wholly solely responsible. Now, authoring, what happened, key to success for ECT, because if you have added all the required document and correct format and correct structure, that means you will be receiving no to less, very few queries. Your life is easier. So basically, you have to check the granularity. But now for this thing is, we are having AI. Granularity, even your metadata. What is metadata? Suppose you are uploading protocol, because you are medical writing, protocol is uploaded, correct? Now, what could be the granularity? The naming of the file. Example, my study number is 21456. That is my study number. Then I will be giving a file name, study protocol. That is your granularity. Now, it can't be like you upload the protocol and you are not adding further naming. This is also metadata. Naming convention of file. Then system will give you date. Here you will select a date. Then validation date. That you will also select. So in case, suppose example, while selecting a date, I selected a wrong date. AI will give you me the alert. Suppose my other team member, they selected the study number 24513, wrong study number. This will give the alert. That is your authoring. So module 1 is like not a major, it is a varies reason wise reason. Again, this is lot of admin work. and we take a help of from the AI and technology, computer, whatever you want to call it, because mostly cover letter, application forms, they are added in this. Module 2 is, there will be a different section, because I already told you module 2 is about quality, right? It is common for all region. Forget you are submitting for US, Japan, India, wherever you are submitting, it will be going to be same. So this will be the content. This is how the template will be looking like. Like table of content, again auto-generated. That's why I have written not a part of ECT. You need not to focus, you need not to worry at all. Second is CTT introduction. 2.3 quality control summary. Now, if there is a pharmacist, mostly this job is of chemist, pharmacist, who are that team. Suppose there is a team related to animal study, they will be adding summaries here. Clinical overview, maybe a medical writing team. 2.6 non-clinical written and tabular summaries. 2.7 clinical summaries, right? So these are the sections. So now when you deal with the electronic system, suppose you are working on a clinical summary, you simply will hit this, hit it, and add documents, validate, you are signed, and done. Date, and done, right? Give me 1 minute. I just have to open a door. It's coming back. All right, I'm back. So let's go back to our slides. So validate and sign. So similarly, here someone else will be doing. Each section will be handled by a separate team member. So in practical, this if is a like kind of a snippet. This is how it may look like, right? Like 2.35. There may be further section 2.3, S1, S2, S3, S. This section will be vary as per different type of a documentation. Module 3 is about your quality. If you remember, right, the modules you should remember, irrespective of anything, module you should remember all the time. Because I still remember when I gone for a medical writing interview, one of the question was that please draw the CTT triangle. I know these days that's the good news as well. I feel that medical writing test is going away. Hmm? No more test, because of people are thinking that students they can take from help from AI, and plus the intention earlier why they used to take a written test, because a lot of emphasis on a grammar and other things goes on. But now tech is helping us. We don't need it at all. So industry is also evolving. So that's a kind of a positive thing for you guys, that all the job seekers, like I know earlier many students they used to get very lot about written test. It's going away, right? So it will be also looking like whatever you are, as I shared, is that module 2 only thing is that as per specific section, you can go and can edit the document, can verify, revalidate. If there is a question from a regulatory body, suppose in this section, of course, the alert will be with the regulatory team, but this team will be connecting further. Suppose this is with the CDMT. They will connect with them that look, we have received a question on this, like that. Um, Module 4 is typically submitted as a one document per study. This is what is module 4 is your non-clinical study reports. That means all the studies that you have done, animal studies, but this will be submitted as one document. Suppose there are two studies you have done, you will make one document and submit. When the reports are large, like carcinogenicity study, it is recommended to submit as a multiple document as per ICD-3 granularity. If there is any sporting literature, that should also be added as a one document. These days, literature reference is also linked, and earlier the handling of a reference was such a big headache. Like it should be in this format, it should be in this format. Sorry. Sandeep, Sandeep, let me mute you. No problem. But this time, this is the thing. Sometimes makes me little upset also, that why people while traveling or talking to others take this class. It's not a attendance purpose. You should pay attention, make notes, because this is going to help you, right? Anyway, so this is again how the look and feel of module 4 is also, like sections for 2.4 to 1, 4.2, 3, 5, 1, like different sections can be. These are little bit of requirements, like what different agency require, like they require information on study number and title, 5 tag, right? Toxicological reports, like what species the data they have, because this is important. Module 4 is for your animal study. Based on you, this is our GCP principle also, that that you should be having sufficient information on a product that is under investigation. So what data they have collected, what was the route of administration, duration, all is required. Okay, so now next is module 5. Module 5 is, any guess it is? This is your clinical study reports. Basically, all the crux of that clinical trial that we have done. The study report submit to be as a multiple document, right? A synopsis and main body of a study report and appropriate appendices. Synopsis is very important because there are regulators, they just go through the synopsis before going through the whole study report. They go through the synopsis. Appendices is one thing that where all the data, individual, this is important, individual patient data is attached. Suppose we had 1000 patient, data of each individual patient will be attached in the form, in the appendices. They should be organized according to as per E3 guideline, because see which guideline we use for CSR writing, E3 guideline. So see, this is also kind of a revision to everything, which describe the content and format of a clinical study report. This the careful attention to be paid that all small small details, information changed, exposure is changed at any point of product life cycle, like a replacement of complete document file, it should be provided. For the application which is more than for one indication, section 5.3.5 should be repeated for each indication. Suppose there is this is the NDA application we are submitting for oncology also, maybe some viral infection also. So for both, this section should be repeated. Again, literature references, they should be added. So this is how it will look like. I will also suggest you watch few YouTube videos, on CTT, because your learning will be better. But again, it's a regulatory topic. So now, what is the summary of this? The whole summary of authoring process is that you should follow the template. If you are following the template, you can't go wrong. Hmm. Naming convention of the folders, files should be 100% correct. But now again, no worry there, because AI is tools already been created. Formatting and standard of MS Word, or if it should, some particular document should be in the form of PDF, that team should be careful. The content, list of figures, list of graphs, everything should be checked. If you are using some links, internal linking, external linking, that should be verified. The people should be trained, who are working. Any software tool that you are using, it should be validated tool. It should be protecting your confidential information. Now, see, speaking of this, is now in our E6 revision, that is also one of the biggest requirement as came, that it is a responsibility of a sponsor to validate all the sources. Okay, so that's all for today's eCTD. So if I wanted to summarize, that eCTD is the one file that goes to the regulatory body. Hmm. It's having millions of documents. It's not a small file. It is all the work that you have done for that particular drug, and it is that is going to be submitted to regulatory body. And it is a teamwork. All the different teams, they come together and they prepare this. Right. So now you can ask if there are any questions. We can discuss the questions. After this, there will be one more topic. Then I think our syllabus will be over. In next week, we will be taking 2 classes so that we are able to finish maximum of our course. And then December should be free for holidays, right? Okay. Any question for me? No question. It is a bad also. Like, no one asked me any question. Okay, I am giving you one homework. In our next class, that will be, I think, mostly on writing standards. Every student at least bring one question. At least bring one question we will discuss in our class. All right. Okay, then, if there is no question, we can close, right? Or we can have a discussion on the some topic if you want. All right. Good night then. Take care. Bye.